Okay. Okay, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. We're going to start the meeting. Welcome to the city of Dania Beach. This is the Dania Beach City Commission regular meeting, Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. The meeting has begun, 7 p.m. Can we please? There we go. Pay attention. Clerk, please call roll if you could.
Oh, God. Oh.
Still recovering.
Mayor Ryan,
Here.
Vice Mayor Llewellyn,
Here.
Commissioner Davis,
Wait, but I'm here.
here, Commissioner James,
Here.
Commissioner Salvino,
Here.
City Attorney Bootsas,
Here.
City Manager Garcia.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Laura. Could we please all collect ourselves here for a second? Please bow our heads for a moment of silence. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Moving right along to our presentations and special event approvals, we have item 3.1 with the U.S. Small Business Administration, and I'd like to bring up Mr. Timothy Watson, Public Affairs Specialist, and he'll make the presentation.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. I'll be brief. Give me 1 second. Let me pull some information out.
No problem, Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson, if you need some time, I could come back to it. No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him in the back so we can kind of take some pictures of him. Manny, could you come up front for a second? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Timothy Watson, Public Affairs Specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration. I'm here basically to give out some information concerning the current declaration that was created for flooding here in the area. We do have a disaster recovery center that will be located right outside of this building for about a week's time. Just wanted to put that notification of the information out there that this disaster recovery center does house FEMA as well as the Small Business Administration to assist with the declaration for physical damages as far as loans are concerned, and that's for property damages for businesses, nonprofits, homeowners as well as renters. A lot of people have a misconception when they hear the term Small Business Administration, and naturally they assume that we only help businesses, but that is not true. And these physical damages for the businesses and nonprofits obviously may not just be of the structure of the building. It could be some of the machinery, equipment, and things of that nature. We also have an economic injury disaster loan that only falls under the umbrella for nonprofits and businesses. And this is for working capital, any kind of financial issues that they might have endured because of the most recent flooding that hit Fort Lauderdale and Lauder Hill more so than this area. But of course, you still have damages as well. And because the declaration falls over the entire Broward County, all cities fall under that umbrella for physical damage loan as well as economic injury disaster loans. The scenario for someone trying to get approved prior to or just applying in person, they first start off with the credit history and the ability to repay. Collateral is only requested for loans that are above $25,000. If you do not have collateral, that request is not obviously asked for. You do not have to have insurance prior to applying with the Small Business Administration. And we encourage all those who have been survivors of this flooding disaster or have an economic injury to apply while they're waiting for insurance. The maximum amount of funding for businesses is around $2 million, up to $2 million, as well as nonprofits up to $2 million. For homeowners, it's up to $200,000, and for renters, it's up to $40,000. The interest rates are fixed; they do not go up. It's an up to 30-year repayment plan, and for the interest rates going forward for home loans, as well as nonprofit organizations, is in the number of 2.375. And for business loans, it's 4.0. And I just wanted to take the time to provide some of this information, as well as the dates for these deadlines. For the physical damage, it will be coming up very soon, which is June 26th. So we're trying to spread the word and get the word out here as fast as we can. I'm trying to get in touch with the Chambers of Commerce and have as many meetings as I possibly can to get this information out there. For the economic injury disaster loan, that date is January 29th, 2024, so that you do have some time for those residents and some of those survivors who want to apply for either of those. I will be sending out a large listing of information concerning this, a social media toolkit, to kind of simplify some of this information because it can be dense. It is a lot of information, I'm not going to lie, but I just wanted to be brief and go over the main points of the information, and I thank you for your time. Do you have questions for me before I
Yes,
step?
we do.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. Yeah, I believe Commissioner James has a question.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Could you go over the process? There were a lot of cars that were damaged. I did not know that you all provide assistance with vehicles as well. And so could you kind of go over the benefits or the assistance that you have regarding vehicles?
Yeah, so that is something that is obviously new. And the individual who have the vehicle damage, they would just apply online using the app. No, my fault. They can go online and apply using the website. I would really suggest, if they are not sure what they need, to go to the Disaster Recovery Center here in person, because some of the information, especially if it's something new and as a vehicle, they may not know, and they'll be able to get all of the assistance that they need because the agents are in there to help them to make sure they have all of the documentation.
Right, I wanted to filter them here because I wouldn't know the first thing to tell them, but it was more so so that anyone that's watching, they can understand that you guys also provide that assistance when it comes down to vehicles at the same tent, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're certainly welcome. I'm going to leave my information here as well. If anyone has questions, I'm going to leave my cards and some of the information that I have with me. That's a
Okay.
great question, though.
I took some photos for you, so
You did?
I'll send them to you.
I'll give you my card. I appreciate that. Any more questions?
Nope. Thank you very much, Mr. Watson.
Thank you, Mayor.
Very
Mike.
informative.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Item 3.2 is the Education Advisory Board. It's the announcement of the winner for the City Commission and City Manager Readers Challenge. This is a Parks and Recreation item.
Hello, good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager. Back in March, the department, along with the Education Advisory Board, came before you all and presented a first ever Readers Challenge in order to bring and bridge the gap between the cities and the schools. And the challenge was to bring you all into the schools, read with the students, and see who could get the most hours of time read with students to help promote reading amongst them. And we have a winner, so I am going to turn it over to Miss Mary Jane, our chair of the Education Advisory Board, to present the winner.
Good evening, all. Since last year, the Education Advisory Board has taken initiatives to actively participate in the community, like the recognition that we had a couple of weeks ago of teachers, staff members, parents during the Teacher Appreciation Week. This year, the board planned the Commissioner's Readers Challenge, created to foster the love of reading, which took place during after-school hours. The commissioners and the city managers were invited to read to the students at after-school locations from each of the schools located here in Dania Beach, like Collins Elementary, Dania Elementary, and Olson Middle School for 30-minute periods and as many times as they wished. The books used for the challenge were generously donated by the Family and Community Engagement Program, led by Dr. Lori Canning and the Community Relations Specialists. Each student got to take a copy of these age-appropriate books home after the reading sessions took place. The Readers Challenge that happened last month, we have the winner, and it's Commissioner Tamara James. Thank you so much, Commissioner James, for offering your precious time in reading for the children of our community. We have a special gift and a diploma. If you could come forward, thank you. The gifts that were donated generously by members of the Dania Beach Chamber of Commerce, Dania Improv, Jackson's Ice Cream, PDQ, Rodizio Grill, 2J's, and Alta. And I want to take this opportunity also to invite all of you, if you could give us some time, go to one of the advisory board meetings. We would love to see, what we can do together for our community. And Commissioner James, here you go. Let me go this way. I know, where's Katya? Somebody else can take it. Gifts. Thank you so much. No. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for your time.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome job, Commissioner James. Commissioner Davis?
Yeah, just wanted to know if we could have Maxine or know when those Education Advisory Board meetings are so that we can put them on our calendar. Because if we can, I would like to attend if we can go. So thank you very much.
Our next item 3.3, is Broward County Transportation Department Premium Mobility Plan, the Primo update, and this is by our Deputy City Manager. Oh.
Good evening, residents, mayor, commissioners, city manager, city attorney, Candido Sosa Cruz, deputy city manager. Tonight, we have Broward County Transit that's going to be presenting a very interesting and new program that the county is going to be rolling out with many different factors. This is one of the first steps of many steps, but we're very excited to introduce them, and we're very excited to hear what they have to say about the mobility in our city.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Kalila French. I'm with Broward County Transit, and this evening we wanted to present our premium mobility plan. Oh, there it goes. All right, so I'll briefly go through introduction and background, give you an overview of the plan, talk about the implementation, some of the risks we've identified, and summary on our next steps. So our strategy is to invest in a county-wide network that is attractive, safe, reliable, and frequent. So with that, our goals are to improve mobility for all, integrate and serve communities, enhance economic development and ensure financial stability, implement equitable transit solutions, improve safety, security, and ensure environmental stewardship. So what do we gain? Over 200 miles of new premium service, approximately 23 million annual riders, 100% electrified bus fleet, new intelligent transportation systems technology, and localized aesthetic and architectural enhancements. So we aim to make sure that the projects really do integrate within the communities. In addition, with the plan, we have the opportunity to connect Broward County's 3 major economic engines, the airport, seaport, and the convention center. So according to the American Public Transportation Association, investing in public transportation does create jobs. So with this plan, we anticipate new construction and related jobs. We see it as a catalyst for economic development, a foundation for transit-oriented development and affordable housing, and we see expanded small business opportunities as well. So our methodology, extremely data-driven at this stage. We use analytical tools, we did modeling, we pulled information from the National Transit Database for our costs, and also considered community feedback. So just to step back a little, the phases of project delivery are planning, project development, and environmental, design, and construction. So where we are now with the plan, we're in the planning stage. So the premium transit service characteristics of our plan, we have commuter rail, light rail transit, bus rapid transit, and high frequency bus. So this slide here just gives a quick overview of the differences between each of the levels of premium transit investment in terms of their guideway, the frequency of service, capacity, costs, and operations and maintenance estimates. So our plan, our recommended network will have 11.5 miles of commuter rail, 23.3 miles of light rail transit, 76 miles of bus rapid transit, and 100 miles of high frequency bus. So the next few slides I'll go through pretty quickly. It just identifies or provides a little bit more detail on each of the projects in the plan. So we have Broward Commuter Rail South. That's 11.5 miles of commuter rail with 3 stations, Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International Airport, and Fort Lauderdale. Projected opening 2027. Then we have the light rail Airport Seaport Convention Center. That's 3.5 miles of light rail transit, elevated primarily on county property. Projected opening 2028. Extending from there into downtown, 3 additional miles of light rail with the tracks and stations at street level. Projected opening for that 2031. Broward Boulevard, extending from there an additional 4 miles of light rail. It went away at grade. There it goes. Whew. Additional miles of light rail to State Road 7. And for that portion, a projected opening of 2035. The dashed lines here represent future expansion. So it would be either Commercial Boulevard or Sunrise Boulevard. Now the next few slides, the bus rapid transit projects. So Oakland Park Boulevard, 15 miles of bus rapid transit with exclusive transit lanes where feasible. Projected opening for that one, 2028. Moving through State Road 7, 15 miles of bus rapid transit with supplemental high frequency to the north. And we show here the overlay of the light rail transit. Harrow Line Road, that's Bus Rapid Transit, 10.5 miles. Projected opening 2033. University Drive, 16 miles of Bus Rapid Transit. 2035 projected opening. Commercial Boulevard, 5.5 miles with supplemental high frequency, projected opening 2036. Sorry if I'm going a little fast. And Sunrise Boulevard, 14 miles of Bus Rapid Transit. Again here, exclusive transit lanes were feasible. A projected opening for that one, 2038. So our implementation plan, so our 5-year look ahead, as I mentioned, 2023, the planning phase, the Primo study is complete. 2024 to 25, we expect to begin our pre-launch activities. So we'll start looking at service integration. So we'll look at how our local service and other services integrate with this new premium network, looking at bus procurement, starting our environmental study, design development, readying our workforce as a county, and then 2026 through 2028, begin implementing the high-frequency corridors, commuter rail, BRT, and LRT. A higher level look ahead, this just shows the plan for implementing the premium services through 2038. Then the high-frequency service, shorter implementation time. As I mentioned, we'll be acquiring some buses, and this has a shorter implementation timeline. Projects per year, this just really shows the intensity at around 27, 28 of the projects that will be in various stages of design, construction, testing, and commissioning in the county. Now, how do we get there as a county? We expect to fully leverage our internal and external resources. We'll be pursuing alternative design strategies in addition to design build, bid build, looking to generate fast-track procurements, and of course, seeking and securing alternative funding sources. And as we move through, continuously improve implementing the projects. So with a schedule like that, we'd be remiss to not talk about some of the risks we've identified, and I'll just highlight a few. So the schedule uncertainty, just project delivery option, third-party agreements, property availability and acquisition, and of course, public expectations. So in summary, Broward County really does see this plan as transformational towards the mobility and connectivity through Broward County. As I mentioned, at the end, we'll have over 200 miles of new premium service, connections between the major county activity centers and communities, enhanced economic development potential. And with that, we definitely need your help. And so we're here today to get your feedback and thoughts.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Oh, you still have one more?
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna add one thing as far as in our city, Mayor and Commissioners, the components that will directly affect us are the shuttle bus service, microtransit, and the bus, the high-frequency bus line, which will be up and down Federal Highway. That's where we will be impacted as far as the Primo plan.
Nope, pretty much done. This is just a snapshot of the costs. We're looking at about $4.4 billion capital investment for the plan as presented. And so as I mentioned, we're here. We've already met with our county commission, our surtax board, and we had our commission workshop this morning, and we're continuing to meet with all the cities and their commission to get their feedback, and we'll be looking to go to the Broward County board to adopt the plan in June, on June 13th. Adoption of the plan is really adoption of our phase 1, so we can move into phase 2, which would be the detailed study of each of the corridors. And that's it. questions?
Thank you. Yeah, we have a few questions. Start with Commissioner James.
Yes, thank you. Since the adoption is in a few weeks, does our input really matter? Before I start asking my questions.
Your input always matters, but I would say that each of the corridors and the plan, this is just the planning phase, so it is by no means final. So the input that we get will definitely inform the next phase of study.
Okay. The deputy city manager kind of answered a few of my questions that I had already, because I wanted to know how were our residents, and in the amount of development that's happening around our city, we need to plan for alternate transportation, because traffic, obviously on US 1, it can't get any wider, and that's very problematic at various times of the day. And so the only thing that you guys are doing is putting more, you said more buses or quicker buses on the road?
A combination of both. We need more buses so they can be more frequent. So it'll be high frequency service at a minimum in the AM and PM peak.
Okay, I want to know, do you guys have a campaign to try to attract ridership on these buses? So how are you going to get the average person that may have a vehicle to now want to use that public form of transportation, so that it's not only that you have the buses, but they are being effective?
Right, so yes, so with each of the studies and as the projects roll out, we will have that campaign. And the goal is, like I said in our strategy, to make it attractive. So with a lot of the projects, that will come with branding, and definitely the electric vehicles, and the reliability of the service, we think, will also attract.
Okay, and then what are you doing differently with the shuttle buses that, are you speaking about the shuttle buses that we already have in our cities?
So that's an additional study on top of this. So now that the premium network has been identified, we'll be looking at the layers of service that support in making sure microtransit or community shuttle really fits the community's needs, in addition to the premium transit services that I identified.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
I just want to add one thing to Commissioner James. Another attractive feature of the Primo plan, as mentioned, is the additional 200 miles of connectivity. So a resident will be able to not just take a bus, but a bus that connects to a train, to a light rail, to microtransit, where there will be a less need for a vehicle. Basically, there will be this complete system of 200 miles of connectivity throughout Broward County.
Hi. So I actually have already seen this presentation once before. And my recollection from when that was done, there were concerns all over the county with there still being gaps as far as connectivity. And I understand you, like, obviously we have our own buses that we use here, our own shuttles that we use here, and that's going to connect with those, correct?
Yes.
And I know that, and I don't think it was you that gave the presentation. I think it was somebody else that gave the presentation at the MPO.
At the MPO, yes, that was our director.
Right. And she, I believe she said that you'd all be taking input so that we could make changes to this, which I know was something that was already asked, but there is going to be the opportunity for change if need be, because there were some things that I know she was surprised about that were raised as far as connectivity. One of the things I think that, especially dealing with the buses, the reliability is huge, because they tend to be late. There tend to be sometimes some safety issues, even on the buses, not just with transport itself, but and that ends up causing other problems and causing delays. So those are things that I think need to be really studied and looked at and figure out better ways to make sure that happens. And I know you said the number of buses would increase, but how about the hours that they run?
Yes.
Because that's a whole other thing. I know they stop running at a certain point.
Oh, span of service, yes.
And there's a lot of people that work night jobs, for example, that need to take a bus and can't. So
Agree.
it just becomes more complicated for them. But anyway, just a couple of thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what you said about the supplemental high frequency, we don't really have that type of transportation right now, correct?
No, not
No?
to this level. It'll probably be maybe on a corridor, I think State Road 7, but not to the
Yeah,
level
on
as
such a
proposed
scale.
here.
Certainly not anywhere near our city, yeah.
No.
Okay. I just wanted to verify that, and I wanted to, so supplemental high frequency means more stops. Exactly.
More stops and definitely more frequent. So I'm at a minimum 15-minute headways.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you very much.
right.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Great presentation.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Okay, now we're going to move into proclamations. And I have a proclamation to read for Lupus Awareness Month. I'm going to present this proclamation to Jolanda Jones. So I'm going to read it, and then I'll come up and present it to you, Ms. Jones. Yeah, come on up. So this is a proclamation of the Office of the Mayor, City of Dania Beach, Florida, whereas lupus is an unpredictable and misunderstood autoimmune disease that can cause severe damage to the tissue and organs in the body, and in some cases, death. And whereas more than 5 million people worldwide suffer the devastating effects of this cruel and mysterious disease, and each year, over 100,000 young women, men, and children around the world are newly diagnosed with lupus, the great majority of whom are women of childbearing age. And whereas medical research efforts into lupus and the discovery of safer, more effective treatments for lupus patients are underfunded in comparison with diseases of comparable magnitude and severity. And whereas many physicians worldwide are unaware of symptoms and health effects of lupus, causing people with lupus to suffer for many years before they obtain a correct diagnosis and medical treatment. And whereas there is a deep unmet need worldwide to educate and support individuals and families affected by lupus, and whereas there's an urgent need to increase awareness in communities worldwide of the debilitating impact of lupus. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City of Dania Beach Commission, I, A.J. Ryan IV, Mayor of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, do hereby proclaim May 2023 as Lupus Awareness Month in the City of Dania Beach, and join with the Lupus Foundation of America in calling for an increase in public and private sector funding for medical research on lupus and education for health professionals and the public, in recognition of lupus as a significant public health issue. And I'd like to present this to Mrs. Jolanda Jones. I'll come down. I just want to add, Mrs. Jones is a member of our community, and she is affected with lupus. And it's a pleasure to have you today, and you definitely have our support. For our next proclamation, and we're going to get approval for this. This is for Jewish American Heritage Month. It's sponsored by Commissioner James. Do I have a consensus on the commission for this proclamation? Yes, okay, perfect. Please, if you would, Commissioner James.
Thank you. This proclamation reads from the Office of the Mayor of the City of Dania Beach, Florida, whereas on April the 20th, 2006, President George W. Bush proclaimed that May would be Jewish American Heritage Month, capping a historic achievement by an impressive group led by the Jewish Museum of Florida and South Florida Jewish community leaders, which eventually resulted in congressional resolutions introduced by Representative Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Senator Arlene Specter, and whereas JAHM recognizes the history of Jewish contributions to American culture and society from sports, arts, music, and entertainment, and history to medicine, business, science, government, and military service. Across these fields, Many Jewish Americans have contributed significantly to this nation's struggle for freedom, justice, and liberty, having helped bring about progress in all aspects of this nation's value and character. And whereas many Jewish people who reached America did so after fleeing oppression, in some cases amid the most grim and gruesome of human experiences during the Holocaust, and did so with the hope of realizing the true promise of building a freer and more just America. And whereas many Jewish men and women made lifelong commitments to confront the enemies of America's noblest goals, racism and oppression, they found solidarity in the civil rights movement, in the fight for women's and LGBTQ rights, and in struggles which often mirrored the story of Exodus and the Jewish people's journey through the ages. And whereas the rise in anti-Semitism demands that all Americans know the lessons of the Holocaust, we must recognize that there is an urgent imperative to continually combat prejudice before it firmly takes root. This recent reemergence of violent anti-Semitism requires that we recommit through action and solidarity that an attack on faith of one is an attack on the faith of all. And whereas this Jewish American Heritage Month, let us join hands across faiths, races, and backgrounds to make clear that evil, hate, and anti-Semitism will not prevail. Let us honor the timeless values, contributions, and culture of Jewish Americans who carry our nation forward every day. And let us rededicate ourselves to the sacred work of creating a more inclusive tomorrow, protecting the diversity that defines who we are as a nation, and preserving the dignity of every human being. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City of Dania Beach Commission, your mayor, A.J. Ryan IV, the mayor of the City of Beach, Dania, Florida, do hereby proclaim May 2023 as Jewish American Heritage Month in the City of Dania Beach. And we have none other than Daniel Murieti, here to accept this proclamation, who is the Government Relations Chairman of the Jewish Federation of Broward County, on behalf of the Holocaust Documentation and Education Center. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much, Commission, for recognizing Jewish American Heritage Month. It's very important for our community. Thank you for doing this every year. It's very important. As someone whom used to work for the Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman-Schultz's office, I know just how important this was to the Congresswoman to implement in the United States, and we want to recognize the contributions of our community each and every day, and thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm going to use two cameras.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Davis, you'd like to add?
I don't know if this is the right time to do that, but I know we have to request proclamations in advance. So I have a proclamation request for the next meeting for Will Amundo for Mundy's Restaurant that's been in operation for 30 years. And I would like to request approval to have that proclamation done on the June 13th meeting.
Do I have a consensus from the commission? Okay, we have a consensus. Mrs. Jones, if you'd like to speak, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to not give you a podium, but, okay.
The key. Should try to give him the key.
Okay, no citizens' comments? No? No one checked in for comments? Okay. All right. So now we'll move on to public safety reports. It's official, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is official, right? Okay, I just want to make an announcement. Captain Marks, who served our city for, I think, 8 years, right? 8 years. He moved on, but he's still going to be in a role in the county, and he's going to still oversee multiple departments and do training, from what I've heard. And I'd like to welcome Lieutenant Tarala.
Yes, sir.
Still soon to be,
lieutenant, yes.
2 weeks he'll be chief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, still
Captain.
lieutenant for right
You'll
now.
be captain in 2 weeks,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I've gotten to know you a little bit, and just want to say on behalf of me and the staff and the commission, I'm just very, very excited, looking forward to our relationship, and you have our full support.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
all.
And I just want to also one more time commend Captain Marks on his hard work with the city and his dedication.
Absolutely. Thank you. I know we'll do something official, I think, in June when I get the captain.
Yes.
So I'll save that speech for that time. Before, I'm going to do my safety report, and then at the end, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Cooper. So she will be taking my position as the current XO in the city. So I'll get through this, and then I'll do a quick bio of her and let her introduce herself to you all. Over the last couple of weeks, we had a known subject who was committing aggravated stalking and an extortion where he was harassing a female victim through electronic communication. He was threatening her with sexually explicit photos and videos that he took of her. Through investigative means, our detectives were able to track down the suspect and place him into custody, where he is in custody right now at the jail. And the female victim in this case was extremely appreciative of the hard work our detectives did. Earlier in the week, last week, we had a burglary in progress that occurred, and our detectives and deputies who were in the area actually observed the suspect fleeing the residence. We began a foot pursuit of the suspect. He then broke into another home where he barricaded himself at 606 West Beach. I think you guys knew about that when we had the SWAT call out. The individual refused to come out. Our SWAT team came, and once he saw the SWAT team beginning to surround the house, he chose to come out. He was charged with multiple counts of residential burglary as well as resisting arrest. Our crime suppression team was working a narcotics tip, and they were following a subject who was wanted for selling narcotics, multiple narcotics throughout our city. A search warrant was conducted inside the residence of this suspect, and it was extremely notable amount of narcotics that they've gotten out of the search warrant. They got over 140 grams of cocaine, 76 grams of MDMA, 15 grams of amphetamine, 2.5 grams of LSD, and over 700 grams of marijuana. This was a big-time player who was selling drugs in our community, and well, now he's in jail, obviously, with all kinds of trafficking amounts of drugs. So they did a fantastic job with that. CST began initiating an operation last weekend to deal with the block parties going on in our neighborhoods. This will be continuing for the rest of the year. Our goal is to stop these block parties in these big gatherings before they begin, by being proactive. So they know the times that they're occurring, where they're occurring, and we will be out there in full force. Last weekend, I know it was effective. I'm hoping that it will continue that way. So let's hope that they're proactive, we'll be proactive instead of reactive with that going forward. This weekend, coming up from Memorial Day, we'll have our deputies on the beach. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we'll have 2 deputies assigned to the beach every day. So that'll be covered. And then on Monday, we'll have a couple extra guys on the beach. Obviously, there'll be large crowds. So that'll be handled, we'll be taken care of to be able to shut it down when the parking lot gets full. The Daniel Point substation, which I know is always a topic of discussion, that is in the final stages of the internet being put in. So once we get that final contract signed, we can get it fully functional. We're about 80% functional there now. The laptops work, but it's a little slow. So once we get the internet up, we can get it fully functional station for us. So at this time now, I want to introduce Lieutenant Cooper, who is taking my position as Executive Officer for Dania Beach. She will be effective on paper starting June 3rd. When I become the captain, she will now be our XO. A little bit about Lieutenant Cooper. She is a 16-year veteran of the Broward Sheriff's Office. She has served as a road patrol deputy, a field training deputy, a school resource deputy, and a community outreach deputy. Once she was promoted, she was assigned to the Deerfield Beach District before transitioning as a sergeant of the Criminal Investigations Division. During her tenure in the Criminal Investigations Division, she supervised the Career Criminal Unit, Violent Crimes Unit, Special Victims Unit, Robbery and Victim Advocates Unit. Lieutenant Cooper is a self-motivated, disciplined, and she carries herself proudly representing this agency, and she will proudly represent Dania Beach. Lieutenant Cooper is going to be a great addition to this Dania Beach family, and I think you all are going to love her very much. A little bit personally, I've known her for 16 years since she's been here, and her husband is the chief of Tamarack. And I've known her husband. We started together in Oakland Park 20 years ago. So we are getting a fantastic lieutenant, and I will let her pick up from here. I don't want to take her.
Thank you, Captain. It's an honor. It's an honor to be able to work alongside you. I know moving forward, we will do great things for the city of Dania Beach. I'm looking forward at the appropriate time to meeting each and every one of you. Therefore, we can have that face-to-face interaction and go over your goals and expectations, not only of me, but of our community, who I'm looking forward to serve with excellence and prestige. I bring a lot of energy. That's my personality. I'm all over the place, and the captain has a great support system. Absolutely. Thank you all for the time and being able to speak tonight.
Thank you, Lieutenant Cooper. Looking forward to our relationship. Thank you, Captain Tarala.
Soon, 2 weeks.
Soon
2
to be.
weeks.
She said captain.
Yes.
That's right.
All right.
Any questions?
Commissioner Salvino?
Well, yeah, Jason, how you doing? Congratulations on your upcoming promotion.
Thank you, sir.
Lieutenant as well, too. Congratulations, thank you, and welcome to Dania Beach. Just a quick question on some of the things I'm going to, ask you a couple of things about that. I don't know if it's appropriate time. Maybe we should do it separately, but I guess bring it up. The other day I was sitting out on US 1 at the Fish Grill having dinner, and all of a sudden I got, asked by a lot of the residents that were in there eating. There was pretty much of a takedown on US 1, and you didn't report it tonight. I was just curious to know what that was all about. There's like 8 or 9 cars there, but they were not from Dania Beach, but they were all Sheriff's Department. Did you know?
Find out. I was on vacation for a couple of days.
Okay.
So what happened on the days I was out, I'm not sure, but I'll find out.
Okay, well, I know, are you familiar with Ronnie Miller?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, well, he was there, he
That's
saw
our
me.
Viper.
Yeah, and so it must have been that they must have chased him down the street, but it was quite a scene going on.
That subject was wanted for 2 counts of attempted homicide.
Is that right?
I know exactly what it was.
Okay.
That was our Viper.
Well, they did a great job out there. They had the whole place contained down, but it was impressive to see our guys and girls at work out there in Dania Beach. They had a lot of compliments from the residents, so I just wanted to pass it on.
That suspect shot 2 people. So that was what that was. That was Ronnie Miller's unit.
Bad guys off the beach, huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
they got him
off the street.
in custody. He's in jail for 2 counts of attempted murder.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes, I just wanted to hello and congratulations to both of you. I think everybody's so excited. We love the energy that you guys are going to bring to the city. Very happy to have you here. On a personal note, I wanted to thank you because, I think the crime is just, it's getting closer and closer to home. It literally came to my home, and I want to thank you for calling me personally and, ensuring that our neighbors felt safer and working with everybody on your team under your leadership. I mean, it really, really makes a difference having that personal touch, and it makes us feel safer. So thank you for all you have done and all that you're going to do to serve our city.
Glad we got him in custody too.
And,
So,
and I got my stuff
yes,
back.
you got your stuff back. So absolutely, thank you. ma'am.
Thank you.
Commissioner James?
Yes, I just want to congratulate you again, Lieutenant Tarala, on your new venture, and welcome Lieutenant Cooper. Big energy. I love the energy that you're going to need a lot of that, because we have a lot of expectations as commissioners in our different areas, but we are all one, serving one community, and we're looking to kind of turn things around in a more positive light. We have been trending with crime lately, and so I have full faith in your team that we are going to have a lot of positive reports to follow. So you have my support in whatever you need, and please pass along our contact information to Lieutenant Cooper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Of course, congratulations again. I know we spoke previously, and welcome as well. I look forward to seeing, we have like a whole new team here. It feels like it's change is a good thing sometimes. So, but I definitely look forward to it. I think our past videos that we did together, maybe will get you more prepared for this environment as well. So that'll be good. But no, looking forward to it. Thank you so much for everything you're doing, and thank you for your service. And we'll get together soon, I'm sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. We're extremely excited about the Tarala-Cooper combination. As you know, high energy and proactive efforts is something that that we take a lot of pride in this administration. So these two individuals are going to really take our city to new heights in regards to law enforcement, protecting, and really going above and beyond. We will be honoring Captain Marks next month for 8 honorable years. And, but we're looking forward to what you're bringing to the table together. And as this commission said, we're behind you 150%. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you. For our same old chief, we got Sergio Pellicer.
Good
Chief to
evening,
the
Mayor,
great
Vice
city of
Mayor,
Dayton
Commissioners, City Manager, City staff, and the great citizens of Dania Beach. So tomorrow night, I'm going to have the honor of attending an awards dinner that Davie Fire Department is hosting, and they will be presenting an award to one of our firefighters that's here at Station 1. Brett Chapman is his name. And let me tell you a little bit about Brett. He trains, he competes in marathons, triathlons, and ultra-marathon races. Recently, he has completed a 76-mile race. I don't know how anybody could do that, but he did. During his training back in August of last year, he would ride his bike to work, and he was coming from Weston. So he would ride from Weston all the way to Dania Beach in the morning, and then ride his bike home after shift. So while he's riding his bike home after shift one morning, he rode up on an accident where a brother and a sister riding their moped had crashed. The brother luckily was wearing a helmet. Unfortunately, the sister didn't have one on. Brett pulled up and he immediately sprang into action, evaluated her, realizing that she had a severe head injury. He wrapped her head, applied pressure to what was later to be known as a temporal arterial bleed. And if you know anything about our arteries, they spurt and they bleed bright red blood. So he sprung into action. She also had some facial fractures. Our EMS captain, who his name is Dean Meadows, was on duty that day, and he just happened to be driving by the area. He was on his way to visit one of our other stations, and when he drove up on this, he stopped also to render help. They both waited for Davie Fire Rescue to arrive and help communicating the extent of injuries. Our EMS captains, who happened to be Dean Meadows that day, they carry whole blood in their truck. So Captain Meadows offered Davie Fire to ride with them in their truck and administer whole blood to his patient. So thanks to their actions, it proved to be instrumental in saving this young lady's life. And I'm proud to say I'll be lucky to just witness the ceremony tomorrow night. Our push-in ceremony is going to be rescheduled. I'm going to work with Maxine on it. I'm looking possibly for the first meeting in June, right before the CRA meeting. Hopefully there's no conflicts with that. So I'll get with all you and hopefully get that finally done. We've also started preparing for our next year's ISO inspection. This includes servicing our hydrants, so you'll see our crews out there flowing the hydrants, testing them, making sure they're nice and lubed up so that there's no issues with them. We're going to be doing premise surveys, and what a premise survey is basically we go to a big hotel, a hospital in the area, the schools, and make sure that we know the layout of each of those buildings and where all the shutoffs are, where all the any area that we would have to access during an emergency. We'll be monitoring all our training hours and our public education to our citizens, and I'm sure we'll be able to get a level rating of 1 like we did a few years ago. So that completes my report, and if you have any questions, I'm here.
Any questions? Yeah, Chief, that was the one thing I wrote down. I just wanted to make sure that we get that push-in ceremony scheduled. So, yeah, if it's before the first commission meeting, I think we could all make that happen, I guess. So, better sooner than later.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Commissioner Salvino?
Yeah. Mayor, is there a chance that you can move item 10.1 up? Person that's here for that has 6 children at home and is getting late for school.
Item 10.1? Oh, sure, yeah. Ms. Shrabi? Okay. All right, yeah, okay, we'll go to 10.1 right now. Come on up, Ms. Shrabi.
Do what?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Robbie, for being here. As you know, she's the chairman of the Art Board. We've had a tremendous opportunity to work with Dania Point to feature the Tator Dog art sculpture at Dania Point as the first of many exhibitions that they want to have in the future. This is a discussion that I had with Ms. Sharabi. Because of the grand opening and the concerns that we have that the current place, which will be their permanent space, only has 7 parking spaces, and we expect to have a large contingency of people coming from France that are donating the sculpture and inviting the Art Board and everybody else that we're going to be recognizing that day. So I wanted to turn it over to Kelly if you had any questions on this. But we seek your support to be able to work with Dania Point, to be able to put the Tator Dog right between the 2 Marriotts, the Marriott IC and the Marriott, and the special pad that they have created for an exhibition, and we will be the first there.
Good, Kel.
Good evening. Good evening. Kelly Sharabi.
Speak up.
I'm sorry. I'm.
Her daughter's
Yes.
turning 5. So
Yes,
thank
yes.
you.
I'm in birthday mode still. So. Yes, Eva. Okay. Questions, Mr. Mayor. Nice to see you, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Yes. What is the question?
Commissioner James?
How long will the exhibition be? I don't know if I
It's
heard
like
it.
4 or 6 months or something.
We're looking to 4 to 6 months, working with the Dania Point team
Okay, and then after that, it'll be moved to
to the director of the city commission, which will
Well,
be where you all had decided.
what is the name
The
of
dog park?
The
What's
dog
the
park.
name of it? Thank
Tiger
you.
Tail.
Tiger Tail. Okay. What will be at the exhibition? Will it have like a little statue, I mean, obviously the art, but a little plaque that describes everything? What will be there? Just or
Yeah,
would it-
our goal would be to have the plaque of our art board, of our city commission, the gift from France from Stefan Bolongaro, something very similar that we did in our former city to honor this international gift of art and all the folks in our art board and all of you as well.
Okay. Well, thank you.
With pleasure.
Happy birthday,
Thank
Eva.
you. Thank you. Thank you. That's it? Any other
No.
questions?
Commissioner
do.
Salvino?
Let's hear it. Commissioner. Good evening. And yourself?
Always looking great.
I keep,
you
oh,
turned
there you go,
yourself
how's that?
off.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
You know, so this exhibition's for the 4 to 6 month plan. I know that we pushed very, very hard, or I pushed very hard to put it at the dog park where there's only 6 or 8 spots. I will probably, at that point when we come back, I'll probably rescind my vote on that. I think the reason why I may do that is because of the minimum amount of space that's there. And I think I may not pull my vote back, but I would like to bring it up for discussion again and possibly have your board maybe have an opportunity to, suggest a place, and then the commission try to suggest a place where there maybe we can bring it to a place that has more population to come in there. The only thing I do want to say, though, is I don't believe in putting it in a permanent place as Dania Point or any place that a development that can afford to pay for their own art. And so that I would not agree with, but if we can find someplace in the city itself, I just think it's something that we can discuss at a further time. This is just a basic thing to let you know where I stand, because I know I've pushed hard for the dog park, but I've reconsidered after hearing more and more about it, so I just wanted to bring it to the commission and let you think about it.
This will be temporary, so we could work with all of you in the art board where we could find the best location, if that is your wish.
Well, it'll be up to the board at this time, but I will be more open-minded about it this time. Okay.
Commissioner James?
Yeah, I guess we could have that discussion at that time, but I also want to say, couldn't we do like a full year tour where you have like for a few months have it in one space and a few months have it in another space and a few months have it in another space, just to see how popular that would kind of be, to see where we permanently want it. I just know that just because it's not a lot of cars that can fit there doesn't mean that the art shouldn't be there. I mean, so.
Yeah, definitely for the grand opening, which would be a big event, we're gonna put out a press conference, we certainly did not wanna have it in a place with only a couple, so, I think we have an opportunity working with the art board to revisit that. But it should be in a place where people can have access to it safely and take selfies and really enjoy it, because it's a 9-foot beautiful, sculpture. The fact that they have a pad already there, because there is a cost to the pad. But we can be open-minded to, I don't know about moving it. I mean, once we take it from here, we should decide on a permanent space, because it's so big. We can have other art that maybe is smaller, but moving a 9-foot dog, too many times might be an issue. But we can discuss that with the artists as well.
Commissioner
you.
Davis?
Pretty much the manager kind of said what I was going to say. We do have that platform that's already there at Dania Point. It's ready to go. And I do think the visibility is important. I like the idea of moving it, but it is 9 feet, and it's taking so much for it to go from Tampa to Dania Point to wherever we decide. But I think it is good to bring it back up for discussion. And I do know that Dania Point has plans for that area, so it's definitely a temporary situation. So it's definitely not staying there. It's just definitely temporary. So whenever you guys want to revisit that conversation, I think we have time to be able to figure out the best solution. But thank you, Kelly, for coming out and supporting and representing the art board on that. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Okay, now move on to the consent agenda. Is there any items that anybody would like to remove from the consent agenda? Commissioner James?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
Well, do we have any
All in favor?
ordinances?
Aye. All right, any opposed? No, okay, consent agenda's passed. Okay, now we're on for item 8.1. Eve, if you could?
Absolutely. A resolution of the City Commission authorizing the termination of the agreement with Southern Underground Industries for the rehabilitation of lift stations 1, 2, and 3, authorizing the reissuance of an invitation to bid for the rehabilitation of lift station 1, 2, and 3, providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date. This is a public services item.
Denzer, would you like to speak on this?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. This is the one that we advertised for lift station 1, 2, and 3 for sewer lift stations, and the contractor couldn't get the performance bond, so we decided to rebid this job. That's all I have at this one.
Perfect, perfect. I just want it to be known on public record there. Commissioner James?
I'd like to make a motion to approve 8.1.
All right. All right.
Second.
Motion, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any opposed? No. So passes unanimously.
Who was the second?
Second was Vice Mayor Llewellyn. Okay, now for public hearings, item 9.1. Please, Eve.
An ordinance of the City Commission authorizing the expenditure of city funds exceeding $1 million, which expenditure is not to exceed the project estimate of $2,041,450 approved by the City Commission. The fund to fund the infiltration and inflow removal phase mainline repair project, providing for severability, conflicts, and effective date. This is a first reading public services.
Good evening again, Dean Chairzaiden. This is the one that we complete the first step of inflow and infiltration, and this is the second step. So we are going to reline 60,000 linear foot of sewer lines, and so the rainwater wouldn't come into our basically sewer lines. That's all I have with this one.
Commissioner James?
I'm going to make a motion after your public hearing.
This is a
disclaimer.
public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak on this item? No? Okay, Commissioner James?
Make a motion to approve 9.1.
Second.
I have a second from Vice Mayor Llewellyn. All right. If you could call roll on this, actually, Laura, go ahead.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Salvino?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor, the motion carries.
I like hearing those yeses. All right. Item 9.2, go ahead, Eve.
An ordinance of the City Commission amending Chapter 28 Land Development Code, Part 8 Technical Appendix, Article 811 Public Art Program, Section 811-15 and Section 811-70, building permits to clarify that for a developer to place art on developer's property, the developer is, 1, to pay 0.25% towards the art fund, and 2, pay an additional 0.25% to escrow to ensure the construction and timely placement of the public art on the developer's property in compliance with the program, and 3, clarifying that the escrow funds are returned to the developer if compliance is achieved. Otherwise, the escrow funds are deposited in the city's art fund for the use of the city's art program, providing for codification, conflict severability, and effective date, community development. First reading.
Good evening. Corinne LaJoy, Assistant Director. This is a text amendment to our public art regulations that allows and authorizes the city manager to return the escrow funds once the public art is installed on site by the developers. This will alleviate the need for staff to come to the City Commission asking for the release of those funds. This is first reading.
This is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak on this item? Commissioner Salvino?
Make a motion, pass the item, Mayor.
All right, I have a motion. I have a second from Commissioner James.
Davis.
Well,
I know. Yeah, I'm with you, man.
yeah, you were lit up.
You can have
didn't-
my,
You gotta press it. You gotta press it. Yeah, Commissioner Davis has a second. Laura, please call roll.
Commissioner Davis? Yes. Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Salvino?
still red. Yes.
Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor, the motion carries.
Thank you. All right, item 9.3, Eve.
An ordinance of the City Commission amending Chapter 17 entitled Offenses Miscellaneous at Article 4 Noise, amending Section 17-81 Unreasonably Loud Noise Prohibited, amending noise prohibition hours, providing for codification, conflict severability, and an effective date. Second reading, community development.
Good evening. This is second reading of the text amendment regarding noise, and this is to prohibit unreasonably loud noise from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Currently, the code is silent in terms of times, and this is second reading.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak on this item? Commissioners? Commissioner James?
After your disclaimer. After your disclaimer, I'd like to make a motion.
I made it. I
Oh,
said-
you made the motion.
No, no, he already.
No, I said public hearing. I did the public
Oh,
hearing.
I'm sorry. I make a motion to approve 9.3.
Second.
Okay, Alora, please call roll.
Commissioner James? I'm sorry,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
So we don't need to sit by each other.
I was
Yes.
typing your name, so I said it. Commissioner James?
Wait, oh, yes.
David said yes.
Commissioner Salvino?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor, the motion carries.
Okay. All right, we just went through that's it for our public hearing. Now we'll go right to commissioner comments, and we'll start with you, Commissioner Davis.
Thank you for getting it right, Mayor. I just want to mention a couple of things here. Let's see, I really want to thank our city and our team who's been working with the FEMA operation that's been here at City Hall and working with them to continue the services. I do know that we got a lot of inquiries, whether it be from senior citizens or people or residents around the city who were asking for help with the application and with these different services. So I'm glad that we're able to provide those services here at City Hall. In addition, I attended the FAPAP conference, which is the Florida Art in Public Places conference for professionals in the state of Florida. We learned a lot about the new trending public arts and the AR and the AI and the metaverse and all that. So we have some pretty interesting ideas that I was able to come back and bring to the Public Art Board, and I would like to consider having more people attend from the Art Board in the future for the future conferences. Lastly, I also attended the Together We Shine 2023 Laudable Hospitality Awards with Visit Lauderdale. It was at the Broward County Convention Center, and Stacy Ritter, who is the CEO, announced our partnership with with Visit Lauderdale, and we are the first to do this partnership with them, and so she encouraged other municipalities to follow in our footsteps in that. And I've also been having conversations with the Dan Marino Foundation, who's interested in coming to the city of Dania Beach, so continuing those conversations as well. And with that, I am finished. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner James?
Yes, I just have one thing. I wanted to see, I'm not sure if we're going to need a permit waiver, working with Parks and Recreation and the MLK Renaissance for the Juneteenth event. But so I don't know if we're gonna, I don't know when we will know if we need the permit waiver, but if we have a permit waiver, I wanted to get consensus. If we needed a permit, I wanted to get consensus that we can have a waiver for those fees. Yes, no, maybe. That's from y'all.
You said you want a waiver?
Of the permit fees for the Juneteenth event that the MLK Renaissance Corporation is having with the city.
Okay, where's it being held?
C.W. Thomas Park.
It's at C.W. Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah. You have my approval. Commission? Do we have a consensus?
Yes.
So we have a
Okay,
consensus.
thank you. Okay, so you could tell on Cassie. Thank you. That's it.
All right, thank you, Commissioner James. Commissioner Salvino?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things I just want to talk about, mostly questions. Yesterday, Sunday I attended the powerboat races in Cocoa Beach. And my nephew happens to be part of that situation up there as a powerboat racer. And I remember going back quite a few years, we used to have powerboat racing off of Dania Beach. So with a consensus possibly from the commission, I happen to have a connection right up with the person, that the promoters and top people, racers. If I could have them meet with this, if you'd be imposed, if the city manager would listen to what they have to say and possibly bring powerboat racing and us be involved in something like that off of Dania Beach.
Commission, we have a consensus on that? Yes, we have a consensus.
Okay, great. I also, while I was up there, I saw the satellite. I saw the rocket launch. That it wasn't very impressive because it went into the clouds. But
It was in the middle of the night, right?
no, it was at 5:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
But it was pretty. The re-entry is the best because that sonic boom is crazy. The last question I have for you is Lieutenant Tolato told us tonight that we're going to have all the police on the beach and so on for the weekend. We had talked about opening up the FIU, is that right? FAU thing. Will that parking be available for us, the employees and stuff, so we have more parking on the beach for this weekend? Is that a possibility?
We did it for September 1st because of the budgetary year.
Okay. Is there any
October
chance?
1st, excuse me, for the new budgetary year.
Is there any chance that maybe we could reach out a phone call for the weekend and offer them a fee to?
I can ask. contact them.
That's 100 spots that we could have somebody organize down there and give.
I'll try and contact them now.
Well, ask them, say it's Memorial Day week, we're having a big weekend, is there anything you can do to help us? That's all. I just thought it'd be an idea to get an extra 100 spots down there, so, because our beach will close off in an hour if we don't.
I will ask now.
Okay, and other than that, that's all I got. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Salvino. Vice Mayor Llewellyn?
Good evening. And Commissioner Salvino, I also have some contacts with the offshore racing. My husband used to be a rescue diver for them when they were here. So we know lots of people that are involved in that. And it's always a good time. But anyway, so let's see. This past Friday, myself and the mayor attended the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance mid-year luncheon meeting. Always informative, but probably the most important thing that I got out of it was the fact that we were sitting with Carol Hilton from Workforce Broward, or Career Source Broward, who told us that she had money from FEMA that can be used with the cities. So that information has since been passed along to the city manager, and we will hopefully be able to tap into some of that for additional funds as needed for the city. Also, I just wanted to let everybody know that the Estates of Fort Lauderdale Women's Club, this is now the second year in a row that they have donated money towards our summer youth program with Parks and Recreation. So this year they've donated, the ladies there raised and donated $300 towards the program to help some of our youth, or at least one of our youth, be part of that program. So they've been doing this every year, and I believe they are planning to continue doing it, and they enjoy the Estates of Fort Lauderdale Women's Club. That I was there, I think last year, when they handed over a check. So they make a point of trying to raise money for people in the city. So I think it's a really good effort on their part, and we want to thank them publicly for their donation. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go Heat.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Find out after that. They haven't signed it yet,
Okay,
so I don't know.
I do have some business that I have to touch on from previous meeting. I'd like to move to reconsider the item 7.4 from the May 9th commission meeting, to have the item reheard on June 13th, 2023. Item 7.4, it related to entering into agreement with 12 law firms for legal services, and I'd like to reconsider the item and recuse myself from the vote for the next meeting. Do I have approval with the commission on that?
Fine with me.
I would need a motion, actually, on that.
Make a motion to reconsider item 7.4
7.4
from the May 9th meeting to be reheard on the June 13th meeting, on your birthday, yes.
All right, and I have a second from Commissioner James. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, passed unanimously. Thank you. I also have housing appointments. I didn't even get to those, right? Oh, it's coming up next. I could cover it now. I'm gonna reappoint Celeste Oatman and Bob Adams. So I'd like to reappoint both of them. That's quick, done, to the point. Yeah, it's, okay. Go ahead, say it.
Make a motion to approve the appointments.
All right, I have a second from Commissioner Salvino. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right.
Any nays?
Any nays? Any opposed? Yes. One nay from Commissioner James. Okay. Okay. All right, I want to talk to the commission about our logo for, well, not our logo, I guess it's our slogan for our city. We changed it in 2018, a small city with big possibilities. I would like to reconsider changing that, so I just wanted to bring it up on the commission meeting. So we were, our city had 3 slogans its whole existence, right? We were the tomato capital of the world, and then we were the antique capital of the South, and then on our 115th anniversary, we had, we changed it to small city with big possibilities. So I would like to reconsider that as a commission and change our. Yeah, like Broward's first city. No, but it's not official. It's officially small city, big possibilities. It goes along with like a million other areas. So I want us to be a little unique. That's all. Yeah, I could open up for discussion, Commissioner James.
Yes, I mean, we had an entire process that we went through to do all of those things. So just to say, yes, let's change it, I'm not prepared to do that. And I feel like we just made that decision. So
it was a while ago. It was a while ago.
I mean, 2018 is right there. Okay, so we're looking at.
We don't have to do the whole big process like we did before, but I do understand. That's why I just wanted to open up for discussion. Concussion.
Okay, so, I mean, if I could talk. Okay, so as I was saying, there was a process because I think there was a contest that went into it and everything else, and I don't want to slight the people that we reached out to the public. It wasn't my item, but we reached out to the public. We did this big contest. We put it all over social media, and I just want to make sure that every few years we're not changing that. I think we could have more than one, or we can have a different tagline. I'm not sure, but it needs to be more focused. I know we have See It, Live It, Love It. That is our I don't know, that's our brand,
Yeah.
but I know we also had the regional something. I don't know the specific term. All I know is we went through a lot to have that and a lot of public involvement. And so if we're going to, if it's the will of the commission to do that again, I just think we owe it to the people who were already involved in it to have a similar process and not just vote on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner James. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. I was going to suggest, why don't we just see if we have a consensus to bring it back to discuss it further?
Yeah,
Since-
that's my
yeah,
whole
and-
point.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Commissioner Davis?
Same, it's a longer conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, and it's Memorial Day is this Sunday, and our American Legion Post 209 and Post 304 both doing their own celebrations. 209 is having like a barbecue and a community gathering. Post 304 is having like a barbecue and a celebration also. They're bringing in a bounce house. So out of my contingency fund, I'd like to donate $500 to each post in reference to Memorial Day and their celebrations.
Do we know how much they're spending on each one?
I think Post 304 is spending like $1,000, probably around the same for Post 209.
I'll give 500 from mine for each as well.
Okay. Commissioner James?
Yes, could you give that information to Maxine so she could put it on our calendars? Because I know we typically, who ain't pay the bills? Frank, y'all ain't pay the bills, Frank? Because I know that on actual Memorial Day, they have some type of ceremony, but I would like more information. If you can give it to Maxine so she can put it on our calendar so we can come and be a part of it, that would be awesome.
Well, we used to have the flyers, right, Maxine? That. Yeah, okay. Yeah, for Post 209, but not 304. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And that's it for my comments. Thank you, Commission. Now we'll move on to our administrative reports with our city manager.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commission. Yeah, very quick. I'm going to skip out of order real quick because I just basically need your calendars. I need your calendars because we have 3 ribbon cutting for 3 parks, and we have a push-in ceremony with our new vehicle. So if you guys can look at that last week in June, June 26th and June 28th, and then June 27th, which is the night that we have a commission meeting. We could do 3 parks in one day, go from ribbon cutting to ribbon cutting to ribbon cutting, or we could do 2 parks and then another park and the push-in ceremony. So we could do 2 events each night, and it would be Monday, the 26th. If you all have availability, we can go do a couple of the parks. And then on the 27th, before our commission meeting, we could do the push-in, and then one of the other parks is right down the street. Yes.
Go ahead, Vice Mayor Llewellyn.
One thing that I will say is that before our commission meeting on the 27th, we also have our photo session for the new thing. And
Oh, you
if
don't
we're
wanna be all
outside, we
sweaty.
don't want to be outside and get all sweaty and then come in and take a picture. So I'm just being realistic.
You know what, that's a good point, especially with the humidity.
Yep, end of June, end of June.
End of June, yeah. Okay, so Monday, June 26th, and
Unclear.
Thursday, June 28th,
Wednesday.
or Wednesday, June 28th. So,
I'm clear on both.
yeah, good. So then what I'll do is I'll work with June 26th, we could probably,
We're doing 2 parks on the 26th?
we could do 2 parks on the 26th, and then the 1 park and the push-in
On the 28th?
on the 28th. Well, we could do the beach in Malaluca on the 26th, and then on the 28th, we could do the push-in and Mildred
Mildred
Jones.
Jones.
We could do 5 and 6?
Yeah, well, I guess we could tentatively
Yeah,
get a
'cause we
time
could finish
together.
fast.
As long as we're clear on those days.
Yeah,
and-
so June 26th, 5 PM, and June 28th, 5 PM. And we'll do 2 and 2. And Maxine and I will
is
work
taking
with them.
notes.
Yeah.
Like, what's the earliest the commission's available on Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday of that?
Monday,
Like
Wednesday,
5?
maybe?
Monday, Tuesday, oh yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday's the meeting.
I could do 4 if need be, but
Okay, so 4 would be like our earliest, would probably be 5.
I don't know
If
about
you
anybody
guys want to
else.
do it like Wednesday, we could do all of them in one day. Or if you think that's too much.
Yeah, it kind of takes away too from it, so.
Okay, so let's do 2 and 2.
Okay. Commissioner Salvino?
Thank you, Mayor. I won't be here on Monday in the morning. I don't know what time I'll be back. I'll be driving back from Tennessee for my granddaughter's softball game. I know we're gonna leave, we might leave Sunday night and get halfway, then if I would be there, I'd be back by time, but if not, I would have to not make Monday nights, that's all. No, it's okay. I mean, I don't want, I would go,
What about Melaleuca? You need to be
well,
there.
then switch to 2 days and do Melaleuca on Wednesday, that's all, and then do that one. You know.
You want to be here for Melaleuca?
I would
and
like to be here
Tootie?
for Melaleuca, but I'm not, I want to go with the will of the commission, what's easiest for you guys. I mean, I don't want you to deter because I'm out of town, so, you know.
Well, we have Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, that's, you know, I mean, listen, I think Monday and Wednesday's fine. The only thing I'd ask you, because I'm gonna try to get back in time, because I don't really
just
want to
want
be
it
driving.
later?
You
I
wanna
just
do
would rather
Monday
switch
at
Melaleuca
6?
on Wednesday, that's all.
You want to do Monday at
I
6?
don't, what happens if I'm not back? Then you guys are hanging out there. I mean, you know, 5 o'clock is fine. I just would ask you to switch Melaleuca to Wednesday and take it our park, that's all.
Yeah, put Melaleuca to Wednesday and we'll do the beach and Mildred Jones on Monday.
There you go. That's fine. And then if I'm back, do Mildred Jones or the beach, whichever first, and I'll, if I get back, I'll meet you,
And
that's
then,
all.
and then we'll do Wednesday, we'll do Melaleuca and the
The
push-in.
push-in, that's great.
Yeah.
You got that, Maxine? Okay.
I appreciate that, because I'd like to be here for Melaleuca because it's my neighborhood, but.
It's your neighbor.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to be back, you know, early Monday. If I leave Chattanooga, like well, I have to be out of I don't even know if I have an appointment, I don't even know. I think I'll be do the best I can.
Yeah.
But that's all, folks.
8:26.
Next. We have it. So here in the manager's report, you could see the information for the state appropriation. You can also see the progress of the city hall facilities post the April 12th storm. You will also see a time frame for C.W. Thomas Park. That's included here in the backup. And we have tree pruning underway as the last piece of the hurricane preparation, as well as we're working at all our cemeteries. Our marketing director will commence on Monday, June 5th. And this past week, Candido and I had a conference call with Visit Fort Lauderdale. We're very excited about partnering with them. We'll be starting to work with them already that week. And Tuesday, May 23rd, the city attorney, the mayor and I, we met with Atlantic Pacific. And we're very excited, you know, to make sure that the Housing Authority and Atlantic Pacific works together and communicates with the city, and that we have those agenda and those minutes, because our goal is to ensure the success of that program. We will be also working with BSO. I spoke to one of the colonels, and they really want to recruit. And there's a lot of information and misinformation, so we'll be working with them to host 2 recruitment events here in our city. Saturday, the 24th of June, from 10 to 2, and also Tuesday, the 27th of June, from 6 to 8 here at City Hall. So we'll be sending you more information as we get it. That concludes my report. Go Heat and go Panthers. Sorry.
City Attorney?
Good evening. I'll keep it short. I sent an email to everyone. I'm asking the Attorney General to issue an opinion on a new law so that we can understand it better for implementation, but they require me to get your approval to have the Attorney General respond. So can you all please give me a consensus?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, City Clerk, reminders?
Yes, June 13th, 5:30 CRA meeting, and then 7 PM Commission, and June 27th, you have your regular Commission meeting. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thanks for coming out.
Hey, look at us clap that thing down.
You know, I'm going to start doing it after a motion passes, too.